Hey everyone, so unfortunately my slides wouldn't upload, so we are going to be presenting from my computer and recording on my phone. My name is Grace, and my presentation spotlight is going to be on doTERRA, a very well-known company. We've all heard of it, maybe used the products, who knows. But I am very familiar. I know multiple people that have worked at doTERRA who have had the employee experience and who have been able to share a little bit about the company with me. So that's that. First thing I want to go over is the company overview and history. So doTERRA was founded in 2008 in Pleasant Grove, Utah, actually. They are a health and wellness industry. They're a part of that industry, and they create essential oils. We'll get into a little bit more of the product, but generally it all revolves around essential oils. Their structure is a multi-level marketing structure, and they have thousands of independent wellness advocates. And then this is their building right here, by the way. They're very well known throughout the world. They have over the years have become $1 billion company, and in under 10 years, through network-based leadership and global sourcing, they were able to obtain this amount of money. So looking through an organizational behavior lens, they have a strong focus on people's values and transformational leadership, along with self-managed sales force, which is really cool in my opinion. With the culture analysis, kind of the main part of this presentation, the culture of doTERRA is a mission-based, mission-driven culture, and their mission statement is pursue what's pure. I'm sure this goes into lots of different, could apply to lots of different aspects. Obviously, they make essential oils, so they're pursuing the purity of oils, right, to sell. But this mission statement influences decision-making, hiring, and performance expectations. They have a very wellness-centric workplace. I thought this was really interesting. I mean, it makes sense, but I just had never really heard many offices like this. But they have on-site wellness facilities, and this reflects a deep investment in employee well-being. I almost just spoke Spanish. So, entonces, this helps develop motivation and job satisfaction. So these wellness facilities include gyms and a healthy cafeteria and an on-site medical service, just lots of cool wellness facilities, which I thought was interesting. They are, they support community and belonging, which means that they have shared values and a focus on holistic wellness, promoting psychological safety and group cohesion, which is super important in a work environment. They support the servant leadership model, which means executives prioritize service, humility, and support, and this strengthens organizational commitment. Another thing is that they have a global citizenship mindset, just because they are so well known around the world. This means that they do ethical sourcing through co-impact sourcing, and it aligns with organizational ethics and social responsibility. So what I mean by this is the company partners with farmers in developing countries, and they ensure that like the wages are fair, and that there's safe working conditions and community investment. So this reinforces a culture of integrity and ethical leadership. So that's a culture analysis. But what makes doTERRA a successful and unique company? What I learned is that they empower their workers. And they have very empowered independent workers, to be specific. The MLM model supports autonomy, intrinsic motivation, and entrepreneurial behavior. Just because a lot of their workers work independent in sales. They also have a strong organizational identity. Employees and advocates feel aligned with the mission. And this increases organizational citizenship and behavior. They have values-based leadership, and the leaders act on ethical role models, reinforcing trust and moral behavior. I think this is so important in any workforce, just to develop trust within the work culture, and especially with more like higher employees in the system. They have high employee engagement, and purpose, wellness, perks, and servant leaderships lead to low turnover and high moral. Global organizational behavior practices, cultural sensitivity, they like really value that, and they have fair sourcing, which creates a positive brand and organizational reputation worldwide. So I think that's what makes doTERRA, super successful and unique. So based on what I learned in this class, these would be my suggestions for growth and improvement. I learned that I think they could really improve clarity, role expectations for advocates. What I mean by this is to help reduce ambiguity and burnout by strengthening onboarding and goal setting. I think onboarding is very important, and so is goal setting in a work environment. And I think that if doTERRA would improve this, it would improve the success of some people, some employees. Enhance cross-team communications, use technology to improve collaboration between HQ teams and field advocates. Just because it's such a broad company, I think that they can improve on this. Invest in leadership development. I think any company can do this, but doTERRA especially could invest in leadership development and train the leaders to be very strong employees. Also to support advocate diversity, and just recruit from a broader demographic. I think they do well at this, but they could continue to improve on this as well, just because it's a Utah-based company. I think that they could, branch out a little still. And foster feedback culture, build systems for upward feedback. I think doTERRA really is super strong in a lot of their fields, and they know what they're doing. They're a very successful company, but any business could use more feedback, right? But that is what I've got for doTERRA. It has been so cool learning more about their company and how organizational behavior is so important in a successful business and corporate. So thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.